So I finally got around to watching the movie X. I heard a lot of people talking about it online, and it seemed like the general consensus was that it's a very well-made slasher movie. Let's talk about it. X is directed by Ty West. I don't think I've seen much of Ty West's work. It does list him as a director for VHS. I saw that a very long time ago. It was interesting. But this time, Ty West partnered up with A24 to bring us a modern slasher film set in 1979. And let me just start by saying this movie is not for children at all. It's very, very messed up. And the only reason why I say that is because I know some of my TikTok audience is on the younger side. I'd wait till you're an adult on this one, seriously. So I'm gonna be saying the word corn instead of another word because I don't want to get demonetized. If you don't know what word I'm talking about, maybe this will make a little more sense. So a group of corn stars and filmmakers end up going to this desolate farm in Texas to film a movie, a corno. But remember, this is a slasher film, so things don't really go that well for them. The movie's very well made. It definitely gave the look and feel of the 70s, and it takes its time for the first hour or so, really tries to get you to care about these characters. And it did. It made me care about these characters a little bit more than I would in an average slasher movie. One of the characters is played by Scott Mescudi. Some of you may know him by the name of Kid Cudi. And I like Kid Cudi. Like, I legit listened to his music. And ever since I saw him in that movie Need for Speed, I was very curious to see if he would be in more movies. And based off of this one, he ain't playing around. This dude is acting. I actually found him to be the character that I didn't want to die the most. But the old people that own this farm are having some troubles with their marriage, and that leads the wife to go on a killing spree. And another thing that I will give props for is the fact that it did make me understand the motive behind this killing, or at least why it started. But I really felt like the setting was almost a character itself as well. I believe it was shot in New Zealand, not even in Texas. And that definitely gave it an interesting feel. It gave me similar vibes to the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre and just how in the middle of nowhere they are. But I don't want to give too many plot details away because it is worth watching. Just be prepared to be disturbed because there's a lot of disturbing things that happen in this one. But I did find myself to not really care for the main character very much. Despite the effort for this movie to make me care about its characters, the more I learned about them, the more I didn't really like them just as people. And being that it's a slasher movie, I expected most of them, if not all of them, to die. And another thing that I think it suffers from is the fact that this hour of character buildup, it means there's not a whole lot of exciting stuff that happens until about an hour in. Or at least no killing starts to happen until an hour in. And so it does make it feel a little long. But it's a very well-made movie, and once this third act started, I was definitely glued to the screen. I wanted to know what was gonna happen, and just how far this movie was gonna go. I did find some of the kills to be a little bit underwhelming, and because it's a slasher movie, I want to avoid talking about how anybody dies, just because that's kind of the exciting part of slasher movies. But overall, I would say if you're a fan of slasher movies, I would definitely check it out. Some people might find it a little bit too artsy. It is an A24 film, but really I feel like the A24 aspect of this film is just the fact that it doesn't have a huge budget. It's definitely not as artsy as some of the other A24 films I've seen recently. And with those thoughts, I am gonna give X a 7 out of 10. Definitely an above average movie, and definitely one of the best made slasher films to date. I still think it suffers from trying to find that balance of characterization and also pleasing the audience it's made for, which is people who just want to see some gruesome killings on screen. But speaking for myself, I definitely don't want to watch it again anytime soon. It's just a yucky movie. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Have you seen X? And if so, what would you rate it? And I do understand what some of this story is about, so remember to keep the comments, let's say, PG-13. I'm genuinely curious to see what you guys have to say about this one. But if you guys like these reviews, you want me to keep them coming, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that any new content I make goes straight to you. And also, you know I couldn't get through my day without GFUEL, so be sure to use GFUEL code DannyD, and be sure to snag your very own Danny Dorito 23 GFUEL shaker. But that's it for this one. As always, stay safe, be nice to each other out there, and I will see you in the next one. Peace!